Before the Dragon Boat Festival, the class beauty forced everyone to eat the Zhuangyuan Zongzi she made. Baby dreamed about Grandpa Chu Yuan, and he said that if he eats baby's Zongzi, the Chinese composition will definitely get full marks. There's good fortune hidden inside by the baby, you can't spit it out, or it will bring bad luck to the whole class. I smelled a medicinal odor in the Zongzi, so I excused myself to go to the toilet and handed the sample to the homeroom teacher. The school nurse checked and found that it contained cold medicine that made people drowsy. The homeroom teacher confiscated it on the spot, and the class beauty cried, saying I was jealous that she was about to have good luck. On the day the results came out, she gathered the whole class by the riverbank to thank fortune. She cried and threw herself at me. My baby was just a few points away from getting into Tsinghua or Peking University, if it weren't for you stopping everyone from eating the top scorer's rice dumplings. My baby wouldn't have lost his blessings. I was about to call the police when my childhood friend covered my mouth from behind and dragged me into the river. My classmates watched me struggle, saying I had cost them 20 points on the exam. When I opened my eyes again, I was back at the moment she handed me the rice dumpling. This time, the baby's top scholar Zongzi will be sent to the examination office for a taste first. 1. Sun Baobao stood at the classroom door, wearing a newly shortened school uniform skirt, with 2 small red Zongzi hairpins in her hair, and a tray in her hands holding a circle of Zongzi tied with red strings. Xiaomian, it's your turn, the boy beside me started teasing. Su Xiaomian, don't ruin the mood, baby made these at 4 in the morning, just eat one, it won't kill you. My chest felt as if choked by river water. I stared at the Zongzi Sun Baobao handed me, my nails digging into my palm. In my previous life, it was here that I took the Zongzi, and then handed it to the homeroom teacher after sensing something was off. As a result, I became a sinner in the eyes of the whole class. This time, Baby Tsun blinked her eyes and pushed the Zongzi forward. Baby specially wrapped the biggest one for you. After eating it, you'll definitely have inspiration for your essay. I didn't answer, looking up at her. Are you sure everyone has to eat? Sun Baobao's smile froze for half a second, then softened. Of course, baby's blessings should be shared with the whole class. Whoever doesn't eat is rejecting baby. Someone in the back row slammed the table. Su Xiaomian, don't act all high and mighty again. The class beauty gave you something, and you still put on a face. The homeroom teacher, Du Xiao, passed by the corridor and frowned as she looked inside. Time to head to the exam hall. Don't block the door. Sun Baobao immediately turned around, tears welling up instantly. Teacher Du Baobao just wanted to wish everyone good luck on the exam. It seems Xiaomian doesn't like Baobao. Du Xiao looked at me, his tone lowering. Su Xiaomian, don't be emotional. The college entrance exam isn't just about you. I smiled. Teacher, isn't it against the exam rules to bring food into the testing site? The classroom fell silent for 2 seconds. Sun Baobao bit her lip aggrievedly. But this was made by the baby herself, not bought from outside. Then it should be checked even more. As soon as she finished speaking, Shen Yanxi walked in from outside the crowd. He is my mom's best friend's son, and we grew up together since childhood. In my previous life, it was he who dragged me into the river. He looked at me, his brow deeply furrowed. Su Xiaomian, don't target Baobao today. My heart felt cold and numb. Shen Yanxi, do you know what you're saying? I know, he said, reaching over to take a Zongzi from Sun Baobao's tray. I'll eat it for her. All right. Sun Baobao hurriedly pressed down his hand. No, this is for the examinees. If Brother Yan Ci eats it, he'll take away the good fortune. The whole class burst into laughter again. I picked up my admission ticket and transparent pencil case from the table, then walked downstairs past Shen Yanxi. Sun Baobao called out from behind, Zhao Mian, where are you going? My steps stopped at the stairway entrance, and I turned back to look at her. Student Affairs Office. Sun Baobao's face turned pale instantly. Don't do anything crazy, baby will be scared. Du Xiao caught up. Su Xiaomian, stop right there. If you delay the entry, you'll bear the consequences yourself. I pressed save on my phone's recording interface and raised the Zongzi in my hand. Teacher, since you're here too, come with me. If there's no problem, I'll apologize in front of the whole class. Sun Baobao suddenly rushed over and grabbed my wrist. You can't take Baobao's good fortune. The red string dug into the gaps between my fingers. Her sharp nails scratched the back of my hand, and 2 Zongzi rolled off the tray, landing on the staircase steps. The invigilator from the examination office happened to push the door open and step out. What are you doing? Sun Baobao was crying, kneeling on the steps, still clutching my wrist tightly. The invigilator's surname was Qin, and his face was stern. pulling a candidate at the entrance of the college entrance exam site. Who started this? Du Xiao hurriedly said. Teacher Qin, there's a misunderstanding among the students. Sin Baobao was crying so hard she was trembling. Teacher Qin, Baobao didn't mean to. Zhao tried to snatch Baobao's Zongzi. I lifted my wrist, which had been pinched red. It was her who stopped me from sending it for inspection. Teacher Qin glanced at the tray. What is this? The champion's Zongzi, sobbed Sin Baobao. Baobao made it with her own hands. Examination rules state that candidates are not allowed to bring non-examination items into the venue, let alone distribute food. Collectively before entering, Teacher Qin turned to Du Xiao. Didn't your homeroom teacher stop you? Du Xiao looked displeased. I just arrived. Several classmates gathered at the stairwell entrance, whispering quietly. Su Xiaomian really knows how to stir up trouble. The baby is kind-hearted, and she even told the teacher. What if it really affects our luck? Teacher Qin heard this and said coldly. Does the college entrance exam rely on luck or on the answer sheet? No one made a sound. I placed the Zongzi into a transparent evidence bag. Teacher, I smell medicine. I suggest having the school doctor conduct a preliminary screening, and if necessary, call the police. Sin Baobao suddenly looked up. You're lying. My Zongzi only has red dates, glutinous rice, and good fortune. Shen Yanci walked in front of me and lowered his voice. Su Xiaomian, enough. Do you have to push her to the point of breaking down? Move aside. Do you know how much stress the baby has been under these past few days? She just wants everyone to be happy. I looked up at him, so she can force the whole class to eat. Shen Yanci choked. Sin Baobao suddenly clutched her chest and fell backward. Baby can't breathe. Xiaomian hates baby. Baby won't take the exam. Several girls screamed in alarm. Baby. Du Xiao quickly supported her. Su Xiaomian, apologize. Teacher Qin stood in front of me. Call the school doctor first. Sin Baobao shook her head while crying. No school doctor. Baobao isn't sick. Baobao was just scared by Xiaomian. As soon as these words were spoken, the stairwell erupted again. Su Xiaomian, are you satisfied now? If she gives up on the exam, can you afford to compensate for it? You've always been jealous of Baobao's good grades and popularity. Looking at that familiar face, my stomach churned. In my previous life, by the riverbank, they had pressed my struggles into the water, word by word, just like this. The school doctor ran over with a first aid kit, crouching down to check on Sin Baobao. Breathing is steady. Pulse is normal. Please don't crowd around. Sin Baobao refused to let go of Du Xiao. Teacher, the baby needs to enter the examination room. We can't be late. Teacher Qin picked up the evidence bag. Leave all the Zongzi behind. The person enters first. No one is allowed to eat them until the inspection results are out. Babytsin screamed. No. Everyone was startled by her, realizing her outburst. She immediately covered her mouth. What I mean is, that would cut off the good fortune, teacher. Qin stared at her. If it's broken, then it's broken. The broadcast began reminding candidates to enter the examination hall. Du Xiao urged everyone to go downstairs. Everyone, leave, don't crowd around. As she passed by me, Sin Baobao suddenly leaned in close, her voice so low that only I could hear it. Su Xiaomian, you're trying to harm Baobao again. I stopped, again. Her eyes flickered with panic. Then she burst into tears and threw herself into Shen Yanci's arms. Brother Yanci, I'm scared. Shen Yanci shielded her as they walked toward the exam hall, turning back to look at me with eyes that saw a sinner. Teacher Qin handed the evidence bag to the school doctor, then turned to me and said, after finishing the first exam, come to the examination office. I nodded and was about to enter the exam hall when Sin Baobao suddenly turned around and slipped a small Zongzi into the pen case of her desk mate. Qi Man didn't notice. The small Zongzi was only half the size of a palm, tightly wrapped with a red string, tucked behind the transparent layer of the pen case. I raised my hand immediately. Teacher, there's something in her pencil case. Qi Man was stunned. What? The invigilator walked over. Which student is talking? Sin Baobao, sitting in the third row, turned pale instantly. Qi Man opened her pencil case and was stunned when she saw the little Zongzi. This isn't mine. The invigilator took the item away, speaking in a serious tone, carrying unauthorized items into the examination room. First, registration. Qi Man became anxious. Teacher, it really wasn't me who put it there. My pencil case has been in my hand the whole time. Sin Baobao lowered her head, her shoulders trembling. Man, I'm sorry. Baobao was just afraid you wouldn't have good fortune. Qi Man's face drained of color. Did you put it in my pencil case? Baby didn't mean to. Sin Baobao began to cry. Baby just wanted to help you, the invigilator interrupted her. The exam is about to start, we'll handle the situation after the exam. Chi-man's eyes reddened, her hands trembling. I looked at Sun Baobao, she gazed at me with tears in her eyes, yet the corners of her mouth couldn't help but lift. After the Chinese language exam began, the only sound left in the examination hall was the scratching of pen tips. The questions were exactly the same as in my previous life, and I wrote quickly. In the middle, a sob came from the third row. The invigilator walked over. Classmate, are you feeling unwell? Sun Baobao lifted her little face. Teacher, baby's chest hurts. I was scared by the hypnosis just now. Everyone in the examination room turned to look at me. The invigilator frowned. Do not mention irrelevant individuals during the exam. Sun Baobao sniffled, but Baobao's mind has gone blank, and I can't think of what to write for the essay. Without looking up, I finished writing the concluding paragraph. She wanted everyone to remember me for causing her to perform poorly. The bell rang, and the exam papers were collected. As soon as she left the exam room, Baby Chen crouched in the hallway and started crying. Baby's done for. Baby only wrote 500 words for the essay. Du Xiao hurried over. What's going on? Sun Baobao pointed at me, crying so hard she was hiccuping. Xiao Mian kept staring at Baby, and Baby was scared. Chi-man endured for 2 hours before finally exploding. Sun Baobao, stop talking nonsense. You stuffed the Zongzi into my pencil case. You're trying to get me in trouble. Sun Baobao hid behind Shenyansi. Man, why are you being so harsh on Baobao too? Baobao meant well. Chi-man trembled with anger. Then you should have asked me in advance. Someone in the class butted in. Chi-man, don't add insult to injury. The baby is already crying like this. Exactly. It's just a small rice dumpling, not an answer key. Is it really that serious? Teacher Qin came up the stairs, holding a registration form in hand. Yes, it is. Bringing non-exam items into the testing area can result in a record of misconduct at the very least, or even cancellation of the subject's score in more severe cases. Those few students fell silent. Chi-man's tears fell. Teacher, I really don't know. The surveillance will be checked. Du Xiao's phone rang. After answering the phone, her expression turned heavy. The school nurse's initial screening results are in. The corridor fell silent instantly. Sun Baobao clutched Shenyansi's sleeve. Teacher, there's nothing wrong with the baby's Zongzi, right? Du Xiao looked at her and remained silent for a long while. Teacher Qin spoke directly. Chlorpheniramine was detected inside, which is commonly found in some cold medicines and carries a risk of drowsiness. The sample has been sealed, and the test center has reported it to the police. Baby Chen screamed. Impossible. Shenyansi's expression also changed. Could there be a mistake in the investigation? Teacher Qin said coldly. Public Security and Market Supervision will conduct a re-inspection. Footsteps came from downstairs, and 2 police officers walked up. Sun Baobao suddenly turned around, grabbed the water cup from Chi-man's hand, and threw it at me. The cup smashed against the wall, and shards splattered onto my school uniform pants. The police officer immediately stepped forward. Don't move, Sun Baobao cried out. She swapped the Zongzi for the baby. She's jealous of the baby. She's had it in for the baby for a long time. Shenyansi stood in front of her. Officer, she's emotionally unstable and didn't mean it. The police officer glanced at him. Are you her guardian? Shenyansi froze. No, move aside. Sun Baobao was crying all the way as she was taken to the academic affairs office for questioning. Baby still has an exam. Baby can't be taken away. Du Xiao followed behind, his face so pale it looked green, before the afternoon math class. Many parents had already gathered at the school gate. Rumors spread quickly. Some said Sun baby had drugged the whole class, others said I had framed the class beauty. My mother pushed through the crowd, her face pale. Xiaomian, are you hurt? No. Sun Baobao's mother, Su Peilan, rushed over. Su Xiaomian, she was wearing a cheongsam, her makeup smudged from crying, and she raised her hand to hit me. My mother grabbed her wrist firmly. Try touching my daughter, and see what happens. Su Peilan cried shrilly. Your daughter ruined my baby's college entrance exam. She just can't stand for my baby to do well. My mother's voice turned cold. Your child gave the examinee poison Zongzi. Whose exam did you ruin? Exactly, that's a misunderstanding. Su Peilan pointed at me. The baby has been kind since childhood. She wouldn't even step on an ant. How could she harm anyone? The parents nearby started arguing. My child almost ate it, and you think a simple misunderstanding is enough. Don't jump to conclusions before the re-examination results are out. The child is taking the college entrance exam. Could you please not cause a scene for now? Su Peilon suddenly knelt down in front of me. Auntie is begging you, tell the police you were mistaken, that the Zongzi didn't have any strange smell. If my baby is affected, her whole life will be ruined. I stepped back. Auntie, I didn't do the test. She moved her knee over and hugged my leg. Please let her go. She's just a child. I looked down at her. I'm also a candidate. Su Peilon's sobs paused. Shen Yanxi squeezed in, helping Su Peilon up, then looked at me. Su Xiaomian, the matter isn't settled yet. Don't speak so definitively. What do you want me to say? He remained silent for a few seconds. Say you're not sure about the medicine's taste. Say you were just nervous. My mother laughed in frustration. Shen Yanxi, do your parents know you're here forcing my daughter to give false testimony? Shen Yanxi's expression shifted slightly. Auntie, that's not what I meant. Then what do you mean? Sin Baobao came out of the examination office with red, swollen eyes, and a police officer followed behind her. As soon as she saw Shen Yanxi, she ran toward him crying, Brother Yanxi, Baobao didn't drug anyone. I just ground a little bit of the vitamins from Dad's medicine cabinet, wanting everyone to have more energy. The entire room fell silent. The police officer immediately asked, didn't you just say you didn't put any medicine in it? Sin Baobao covered her mouth. Panicking, Su Peilon hurriedly said, the child made a mistake. She's terrified. Teacher Qin came out holding the sealed document. The afternoon exam will proceed. Students in Baobao, since you have confessed to adding an unknown drug without authorization, the examination center will assign you an isolated testing room, and the relevant investigation will be carried out concurrently. Sin Baobao broke down in tears. No, I don't want to take the exam alone. Alone has no blessings. She suddenly looked up at me. Su Xiaomian, you go with the baby to the separate exam room. 5. Everyone turned to look at me. My mother shielded me behind her. Why? Sin Baobao cried, saying, I was scared by her. She has to take responsibility. Du Xiao frowned. Su Xiaomian, you'll take the exam normally this afternoon. Sin Baobao refused to give in. Teacher is biased. Baby is clearly the victim. Why does baby have to be isolated? Teacher Qin flipped open the record sheet. Because you admitted to adding medicine to the food, baby said it was vitamins. The police officer spoke. Whether it's vitamins or not, we'll have to wait for the identification. Don't change your statement casually now. Su Peilon grabbed Sin Baobao, speaking in a low voice to soothe her. Baby, take the exam first. Mom will handle it. Baby Tsin shook her off. Mom is useless. All of baby's good fortune has been snatched away by Su Xiaomian. This sentence was like a stone thrown into a crowd. Some frowned. Some averted their gaze, while others continued to curse me quietly. Why didn't she speak up earlier? Why wait until we're at the exam site to make a scene? Now everyone's mindset is thrown off. If the exams go badly, who will take responsibility? Qi Manhong rushed out with reddened eyes. Who's in charge? Sin Baobao is. She almost got me recorded for a violation. A boy sneered. You're fine, aren't you? Qi Man raised her hand and slapped the admission ticket onto his chest. Wait until you're stuffed with something before saying it's fine. Shen Yanxi stepped in front of Shen Baobao, his brows and eyes burning with anger. Everyone, keep it down. We still have an exam this afternoon. I looked at him. Do you know you still have an exam this afternoon? He avoided my gaze. Xiaomian, don't make things even more unpleasant. Am I the one being unpleasant? His Adam's apple moved. Baby made a mistake, but she's not bad. I laughed out loud. Shen Yanxi, what basis do you have to judge? Sin Baobao suddenly lifted her head. Because baby loves everyone. Unlike you, you calculate everything. The police officer reminded her to go to the separate examination room. She cried and refused to leave, and in the end, Su Peilon and the female officer had to help her in the afternoon math exam. I returned to my seat in the examination hall. Qi Man sat in the front row, her hands still trembling. The invigilator gave her a new pencil case and offered a few words of comfort. Halfway through the exam, the sound of Tsin Baobao's cries echoed from the corridor outside. Baby can't do it. The test paper is wrong. Baby wants to take the exam with everyone. The invigilator immediately closed the door, but the crying still seeped in. Someone in the back row angrily slammed their pen down. Are you done yet? Another person muttered under their breath. It's all Su Xiaomian's fault. The invigilator sternly said. Exam room discipline. I held my breath and continued working on the final derivative problem. After submitting the paper, Qi Man walked up to me. Su Xiaomian, I'm sorry, you don't owe me an apology. Her eyes were red-rimmed. Before, when she said you didn't fit in, I laughed along with her. Before she could finish speaking, Sin Baobao's voice came from the doorway. Manon, baby is already like this, and you're still standing with her. Chi Man turned her head. Babytsin, you apologize to me. Sin Baobao looked as if she had just heard the biggest joke in the world. Baby helps you change your luck, and you make baby apologize. Chi Man rushed forward and grabbed her sleeve. You almost ruined my college entrance exam. Sin Baobao suddenly fell backward, crashing into Shen Yanxi's arms, crying out. They teamed up to bully Baobao. Shen Yanxi steadied her and looked up at me. Su Xiaomian, are you satisfied now? Just then, Teacher Qin walked to the end of the corridor holding the urgent re-examination notice. Su Xiaomian, Sin Baobao, and both sets of parents, come to the examination office. 6. The examination office was air-conditioned, and Su Peilon was still crying. My mother sat beside me, her hand resting on the back of mine the whole time. Teacher Qin placed the expedited re-examination notice on the table. Initial results confirm that chlorpheniramine was detected in the sample, which is not a food additive. Su Peilon immediately said, the medicine cabinet at home is managed by her father. The baby doesn't understand. She thought it was vitamins. The police officer asked, where did you get the medicine? Sin Baobao huddled behind Shen Yanxi and whispered, Dad's clinic. What medicine? White little tablets. What about the packaging? Thrown away. Where did you throw it? I forgot. The police officer stopped writing and looked at her. Sin Baobao, placing drugged food at the college entrance examination site is not something you can get away with by acting cute. Sin Baobao cried even louder. Baby didn't throw it. Baby is sharing. I spoke up. She also stuffed the little Zongzi into Chi Man's pencil case. Teacher Qin nodded. The surveillance footage has been retrieved. The movements are clearly visible. Sin Baobao was stunned, then screamed, it's a matter of angle, even the surveillance is bullying the baby. When Chi Man's parents arrived, Chi Man's mother rushed in directly. Who is Sin Baobao? Su Peilon stepped forward to block her. What are you trying to do? I want to ask how you teach your child. Chi Man's mother's eyes were red. My daughter was so scared by your daughter stuffing things before the exam that her hands shook for the first half hour of the math test. Are you going to compensate her? Littleton hid and said nothing. Su Peilon stiffened her neck. Didn't your daughter still take the exam? Chi Man's mother raised her finger and pointed at her. Say that again. Shen Yanxi stepped in between. Auntie, arguing now won't help. Chi Man's father looked at him coldly. Who are you again? I'm a classmate. A classmate should keep quiet. Shen Yanxi's face turned red. The police officer brought the conversation back on track. There are two things we need to do now. First, confirm the source of the Zongzi and the medicine. Second, notify Sin Baobao's father to cooperate with the investigation. Su Peilon's face suddenly changed. Her father is out of town on a business trip, and his phone is dead. The police officer looked at her. Give me the number. Su Peilon hesitated. I can't remember. My mom sneered. Can a married couple forget their own phone number? Sin Baobao suddenly shouted, don't call Dad. Dad will hit me. The police officer immediately asked, why did he hit you? Sin Baobao bit her lip. Baby took his medicine. The room fell silent. Su Peilon lunged forward and covered her mouth. Don't talk nonsense. The police officer pulled Su Peilon away. Let her speak. Sin Baobao's eyes darted around, and his crying grew quieter. Daddy said that medicine makes you sleepy, so we can't touch it randomly. Baby didn't know. Baby really didn't know. Chi Man's mother was so angry she slammed the table. You knew it would make you sleepy, yet you gave it to the whole class to eat. Babytsin is crying again. The baby forgot. Teacher Qin said sternly, you forgot that the medicine would make you sleepy, but you remembered not to let everyone spit it out. Babytsin opened his mouth but couldn't answer. Shen Yanxi's voice was low. Baby, don't say it. I looked at him. Are you afraid of what she'll say? Shen Yanxi looked up, panic flickering in his eyes. I'm afraid you'll push her into a frenzy. A knock came from outside the door. A female police officer entered, holding a transparent bag containing fragments of a medicine box and a section of red string, found in the trash. The medicine box name and ingredients match. 7. Su Peilon's legs went weak, and she leaned against the back of the chair. Sin Baobao saw the fragments of the medicine box, and her crying expression paused for a moment. The police officer asked, did you throw this away? She shook her head. Not a baby. The female officer took out another piece of paper. Security footage from the trash can behind the exam center caught you. At 7:46 this morning, you were wearing this dress and threw a bag of trash into it. Babytsin's lips trembled. Baby just threw away the Zongzi leaves. Mother Chi Man sneered. Zongzi leaves in a medicine box. Su Peilon finally panicked. Officer, the child still has 2 more days of exams, could we wait until after the exams to ask questions? The police officer spoke calmly. We have tried our best not to disrupt the exams, but food safety and exam hall security cannot wait. Babytson suddenly pointed at me. What about her? How did she know it was medicine just by smelling it? She must have known in advance. I replied quickly, because I've taken that kind of cold medicine before, and the smell is quite distinct. You're lying, Sun Baobao screamed. A normal person wouldn't be able to smell it. Teacher Qin looked at her. So you knew it wasn't vitamins? She froze again. Shen Yan Ci closed his eyes. My mother stared at him. Shen Yan Ci, why did you keep blocking Xiaomian this morning? Shen Yan Ci's throat tightened. I thought it was just a conflict between classmates. Did you know in advance that something was added to the Zongzi? No. Sun Baobao suddenly looked up at him. Brother Yan Ci, you said you would help baby. All eyes in the room turned to Shen Yan Ci. His face turned pale. I said I'd help you split the Zongzi. My palms were cold. Are you going to help her divide it? Shen Yan Ci looked at me, his voice strained. She sent me a message last night, saying she wanted to give everyone a surprise, and asked me to help call the guys over in the morning. The officer immediately said, chat records. Shen Yanci gripped his phone tightly. There's no content about drugging in there. Provide it first. He didn't move. Teacher Qin's expression darkened. Shen Yanci, you're also a candidate. Don't drag yourself into this. Only then did Shen Yanci unlock his phone. Before the chat history was sent to the printer, Sun Baobao's profile picture was a pink rabbit. Brother Yanci, tomorrow Baobao will be distributing the champion's Zongzi. Please help keep an eye on Xiaomian for me. She always knows how to spoil the fun. Xiaomian wouldn't do that. She would. She's jealous of Baobao. If she doesn't eat it, just say she's targeting Baobao. Don't make too much of a fuss. Baby just wants the whole class to have good luck together. There's another one after this. If anyone spits it out, it will backfire on the whole class. Brother Yanci, remember to help baby explain. After reading it, Chi-man's father's face turned ashen. Is this what you call an ordinary surprise? Shen Yanci whispered. I didn't expect her to add medicine. I looked at him. You know she's forcing me to eat, yet you're still going along with her. Shen Yanci opened his mouth. Zhao Mian, you thought I deserved to be targeted by her. His face was deathly pale. Du Xiao had been sitting in the corner and finally spoke up. Su Xiaomian, please calm down first. Shen Yanci may have been at fault, but he may not have been fully aware of the drug issue. I turned to look at her. Teacher Du, you told me not to be emotional this morning too. She felt embarrassed. Teachers need to maintain order. Teacher Qin interrupted. Maintaining order does not mean silencing those who raise risks. Du Xiao's face flushed red. Outside the door, the broadcast sounded, reminding examinees to leave the school. The police officer put away the written record. Sun Baobao, you can continue your exams tomorrow and the day after under the arrangements of the police and the examination center. After the exams, you must go to the police station for further investigation. Sun Baobao stared at me, her eyes frighteningly red. Su Xiaomian, Baobao won't let you off. My mother suddenly stood up. Try threatening me one more time. Sun Baobao grabbed a disposable paper cup from the table and threw it at my mom's face. The water didn't reach my mom. It was blocked halfway by the female officer. The cup rolled on the ground, and Sun Baobao was pushed back into her chair. Su Peilon broke down and shouted, Baby, stop making a fuss. Sun Baby cried as if abandoned by the whole world. You're being mean to me too. You're all siding with Su Xiaomian. The police officer warned her. If there is any further aggressive behavior, compulsory measures will be taken. Sun Baobao shrank back and finally dared not move. Before the comprehensive exam the next day, a notice was posted at the school gate. The gist is that the exam center discovered unauthorized food distribution, which has been sealed and sent for inspection. All candidates will take the exam as scheduled. Please do not spread false information. The notice did not mention any names, but everyone in the school knows who it is. As I just entered the school gate, several girls from the neighboring class looked over at me. Was it her who reported it? I heard the class beauty was given individual proctoring. If someone in my class gave me drugs, I would report it too, but her classmates still insult her. The voices were not loud, but sharp enough to be irritating. Chiman walked beside me and whispered, I'll sit next to you today. I said, no need. Yes, I need to, she sniffed. I'm afraid they'll start talking nonsense again. At the stairwell, several boys from the class were indeed blocking the way. The leader was named Qiu Jingxing, who had been the loudest on the riverbank in the previous life. He crossed his arms. Su Xiaomian, you're quite the star, aren't you? Qi Man immediately stepped forward to block the way. Step aside, Qiu Jingxing sneered. Qi Man, are you trying to curry favor with her now? Watch your mouth. Did I say something wrong? Yesterday, the baby was taken to a separate examination room and cried the whole time. If she fails the exam, shouldn't Su Xiaomian be held responsible? I looked at him. She gave you medicine, and you're still defending her. Qiu Jingxing's face stiffened. Didn't get to eat again. If you had eaten, you'd have fallen asleep. That's still her good intentions backfiring. Qi Man trembled with anger. Qiu Jingheng, are you out of your mind? Qiu Jingheng's face changed. Who are you calling names? Teacher Qin approached from behind. What are you doing blocking the stairs? The boys scattered. As Qiu Jingxing passed by me, he lowered his voice. Su Xiaomian, don't think you're safe just because a teacher is protecting you. After the exam, the whole class will settle the score with you. Her blood ran cold in that single sentence. The memories of Jiangdi, the murky waters, and Shen Yanxi's hand from her previous life all surged back. Qi Man heard it and immediately shouted, Teacher Qin. He threatened Su Xiaomian. Qiu Jingheng turned around. What did I say? Teacher Qin looked at him. Come to the office after the exam to explain. Qiu Jingxing's face turned dark. Midway through the comprehensive exam, the intercom suddenly malfunctioned briefly, crackling a few times. Many people looked up. The proctor said, continue with the exam. A paper ball rolled to my feet from the back row. It read, you cost the whole class 20 points. I raised my hand. The invigilator approached, and I handed over the crumpled paper. The examination hall immediately erupted into commotion. Qiu Jingxing sat in the back row, his expression grim. The invigilator opened the surveillance registration form. Check the surveillance after the exam. Qiu Jingxing slammed his hand on the table. Teacher, why do you suspect me? The invigilator coldly said, did I say your name? The bell rang, and as soon as the exam papers were collected, Qiu Jingxing suddenly rushed to my desk. Su Xiaomian, are you out of your mind? You reported me over a paper ball. Teacher Qin was standing at the door, holding a screenshot from the exam room surveillance footage. In the screenshot, Qiu Jingxing was seen writing a note, then kicking the paper ball to my feet while the invigilator turned away. His face turned from red to pale. Teacher Qin said, Qiu Jingxing, come with me. Qiu Jingxing stiffened his neck. I just can't stand her affecting the whole class's morale. You passed threatening notes during the exam, which also disrupted the examination order. I didn't pass the answers. Can't the answer be transmitted? After Qiu Jingxing was taken away, no one in the class dared to make a sound. Qi Man whispered, are you okay? I nodded. Someone called my name from the doorway. Shen Yanxi stood at the end of the corridor, dark circles under his eyes. Zhao Mian, let's talk. Qi Man grabbed my arm. Don't go. I looked at Shen Yanxi. Say it right here. He pressed his lips together. Last night my parents found out and gave me a scolding. I want to apologize to you. Finished? No. His voice was hoarse. The baby is in bad shape today. Her mother said she cried all night and even bruised her wrists from gripping them. Qi Man rolled her eyes. Here we go again. Shen Yanxi didn't look at her. Zhao Mian, I'm not asking you to forgive her. I just want to say, could you please stop showing the chat records to others? She's being talked about all over the school now, and she might not be able to handle it. I asked calmly. You were the one who handed over the chat records, but you could choose not to pursue it. Why should I keep her secret? Shen Yanxi's throat rolled. She can be like a child sometimes, not thinking about the consequences. She's 18, she's been spoiled by her family. This isn't my responsibility. Shen Yanxi's eyes turned red. We've grown up together. Can't you give me a little face? That sentence finally made me laugh. Did you give me any respect when you dragged me into the water? Shen Yanxi was taken aback. What? Qi Man also looked at me. I stopped speaking. Nothing. Shen Yanxi frowned. Zhao Mian, you've been speaking very strangely lately. Fine. If you don't understand, then forget it. Su Peilon's voice came from the stairs. Yanxi, she was carrying a thermos, her face pale and weary. Her eyes changed instantly when she saw me. Su Xiaomian, you're here just in time. My mom didn't come today. So Qi Man stepped in front of me. Su Peilon put the thermos on the ground and dropped to her knees with a thud. Everyone in the hallway gathered around. Auntie, what are you doing? Su Peilon cried. Auntie is begging you to sign the letter of understanding. The baby can't have a criminal record. She still needs to go to college in the future. I stepped back. It's not the time to talk about forgiveness now. Then write that you won't pursue it. She crawled forward on her knees. You're doing well academically. so a little impact won't matter, but the baby is different. She's been frail since childhood and can't handle any shock. Chi-man laughed angrily. Frail health, yet she can still drug someone. Su Peilon looked up and glared at her. Shut up, Teacher Chin arrived. Parents are not allowed in the teaching area. How did you get in? Su Peilon's sobs grew louder. Teacher, I have no choice. My daughter is being driven to death. Shen Yanxi went to help her up. Auntie, get up first. Su Peilon grabbed Shen Yanxi. Yanxi, help Auntie persuade Xiaomian. She listens to you the most. Shen Yanxi looked at me, his lips pale. I stared at him. Are you going to persuade him? Before he could answer, a scream suddenly came from downstairs. Babytsin is on the rooftop. 10. The crowd immediately panicked. Teacher Chin's expression changed, and he immediately ran upstairs. Su Peilon rushed out like a madwoman. Baby, Shen Yanxi also followed, running. Chi-man held me back. Don't go. What if they blame you again? The stairwell was filled with footsteps and cries. I stood still, hearing someone shout from upstairs. Don't go over, she's standing on the edge. Teacher Chin's voice was steady. Babytsin, come down first, let's talk things over calmly. Babytsin cried and shouted, let Su Xiaomian come. If she doesn't come, baby will jump. Chi-man cursed, she's crazy. The police officers downstairs had also arrived. The female officer ran down to find me. Su, she specifically asked to see you, but you can refuse. We won't force you. Before I could even speak, Su Peilon rushed down and grabbed my arm. Hurry up and go. Do you want to see her die? Chi-man pushed her away. Don't touch her. Su Peilon was crying so hard her face was contorted. Su Xiaomian, if anything happens to the baby, I'll haunt you even as a ghost. The female police officer blocked her. Parents, stay calm. I looked up at the rooftop door. In my previous life, I was the one who died. No one told Babytsin to stay calm. I'll go, but I need a recording device and police accompaniment. The female police officer nodded. Okay. The wind on the rooftop was strong. Sin Baobao stood inside the guardrail, her feet on the concrete ledge, still some distance from the edge, yet she cried as if half her body were already hanging over the void. Shen Yanxi stood several meters away, afraid to approach. Baby, come down. Sin Baby shook her head. Has she arrived yet? I walked over and stopped at the spot the police had indicated. Here I am. Sin Baobao turned back to look at me, her eyes swollen like walnuts. Are you satisfied now? The baby is being scolded by everyone. The baby can't get into Tsinghua or Peking University. The baby's life is ruined. I said, come down and talk. You apologize first, Teacher Chin said sternly. Sin Baobao, don't make conditions. Sin Baobao screamed, then the baby will jump. Su Peilon cried at the door, as if she were about to faint. Su Xiaomian, apologize. Shen Yanxi looked at me, his voice trembling. Xiao Mian, calm her down first. I asked, apologize for what? Sin Baobao pointed at me. Apologize for reporting Baobao, for stealing Baobao's luck, and for letting the police investigate Baobao. The rooftop fell silent. The policewoman beside her said, Miss Su, you don't have to admit to things you didn't do, you can just try to persuade her to come down. Upon hearing this, Sin Baobao cried even harder. See, even the police are on your side. I looked at the platform beneath her feet. Babytsin, if you really think you're in the right, come down and explain yourself. Baby can't explain. You're all bullying baby. Did you grind the medicine? She froze. No. Did you throw away the medicine box? No. Did you put the little Zongzi into Chi-man's pencil case? The baby is giving her good fortune. Did you let Shen Yanxi check my chat records? Sin Baobao suddenly covered her ears. Stop talking. Shen Yanxi closed his eyes in pain. Baby, come down. You've already said too much. She suddenly looked at him. You're blaming the baby too. I don't have it. You did, Babytsin cried, pointing at him. Last night you said if I had admitted to putting the wrong medicine at the beginning, maybe it would have been lighter. You just think I'm troublesome. The policewoman immediately seized the key point. Did you meet last night? Shen Yanxi's face turned pale. No, I called to talk. Call records need to be provided. Sin Baobao looked as if her tail had been stepped on. Don't check on brother Yanxi. Just as she stomped her foot in agitation, her shoe slipped, and her body tilted to the side. Teacher Chin and the policewoman rushed over at the same time, but Shen Yanxi, who was closest, grabbed her arm in an instant. Sin Baobao was still crying as she was pulled down. Su Peilon rushed forward to hug her, repeatedly murmuring, It's okay now. The female police officer led me to the stairwell. Miss Su, you remained very calm. We'll make a copy of the recording. I nodded. Shenyansi leaned against the wall to stand up. His arms scratched with several bloody marks by Tsin Bao. Xiaomian, I didn't. Stop, he chased after her for a few steps. What did you mean by that just now? What do you mean by dragging you into the water? Chi Man rushed over and stood between them. Shenyansi, why are you still bothering her? He looked at me, his face ashen. Have I done something that made you particularly hate me? I said, you're doing it right now. He froze. On the final day of the college entrance exam, Tsin Bao didn't show up again. The examination center arranged for her to be observed in the hospital and completed the necessary procedures afterward. She missed the English exam due to health reasons. Su Peilon cried and cursed at me for half an hour at the school gate before being taken away by the police and persuaded to leave. At the moment the exam ended, cheers erupted outside the school gate. Chi Man hugged me and cried, "It's over, it's finally over." My mother also hugged me, her voice choked with sobs. "Let's go home, I'll cook for you." As soon as I stepped out of the crowd, Du Xiao called me. Su Xiaomian, she was holding a statement of the situation. The school needs to compile materials. As the student who discovered the issue, you need to sign and confirm the details. I took it and glanced through it. It read, candidates Su Xiaomian and Tsin Bao had a dispute due to personal conflicts. Later discovering that the food was abnormal, I looked up, personal conflict. Du Xiao looked awkward. This is the first draft. The wording can be changed. Change it to, Tsin Bao violated regulations by distributing medicated food. And I'll report it to the examination office. She frowned. Su Xiaomian, the school also needs to consider public opinion. Writing too bluntly might not be good for you either. My mother took the statement and tore it in half directly, not signing. Du Xiao's face darkened. Parent, your lack of cooperation will affect the subsequent evaluation for excellence. My mother sneered. The college entrance exam is already over, and you're still using the evaluation for excellence to pressure your child. Teacher Qin walked up from behind. Teacher Du, the exam record is already clear. There's no need for students to sign such a statement that distorts the facts. Du Xiao's face flushed red and pale in turn. Teacher Qin, I'm just following the grade's requirements. Then let the grade come to me. Teacher Qin handed me a copy. This is your situation receipt, proving you reported the risk promptly and cooperated with the examination center in handling it. I took it, feeling warmth in my hands for the first time. But that warmth didn't last long. A week before the results came out, the class group chat suddenly exploded. Qiu Jingxing posted a video. In the video, Tsin Bao was sitting on a hospital bed, her face pale, her wrist wrapped in gauze. She was crying into the camera. Baby doesn't blame Xiaomian, really doesn't blame. Maybe baby was born without fortune, which is why everyone is suffering because of me. Someone replied below, don't cry, baby, we believe you. Originally, the class average was so high on the mock exam. This time it's definitely going to be affected. Su Xiaomian, come out and apologize. Chi Man cursed in the group chat. Are you all crazy? Qiu Jingxing replied, Chi Man, have you been brainwashed? The next second, I was kicked out of the class group chat. Then, a text message came from an unfamiliar number. Meet me at the riverbank on the day the results come out. You owe the whole class an explanation. The screen lit up as Shen Yanxi's call came through. 12. The phone rang 3 times before I answered. Shen Yanxi's voice was hoarse. Zhao Mian, don't go to the riverbank. Do you know they invited me? He fell silent. Qiu Jingxing said it in the small group chat. You're in there too? Yes. He quickly explained. I didn't say anything. I just wanted to see what they were planning. I looked at the text message. Didn't you think the same way in your previous life? The breath on the other end of the phone paused for a moment. Zhao Mian, what's wrong with you? Nothing. I hung up the phone and handed over the text messages, call records, and screenshots of the small group chat to Teacher Qin and the police station. On the day the results came out, many people indeed gathered by the riverbank, but I wasn't alone. My mom, Chi Man's family, Teacher Qin, and 2 police officers were all nearby. Qiu Jingheng saw me and smiled first. Hey, you actually dared to come. Chi Man stepped out from behind me. You wanted to talk, right? Go ahead. Qiu Jingheng's expression changed. Why are you here too? Several classmates stood by the riverbank railing, looking uncomfortable. Tsin Bao was also there. She was wearing a white dress, with a bandage visible on her wrist. Su Peilon supported her, while Shen Yanxi stood on the other side. She saw me, and tears immediately fell. Xiaomian, baby didn't come today to blame you, I said. Then why did you come? Baby just wanted to ask, do you feel even a little bit guilty when you see everyone's grades? Chiu Jingxing immediately chimed in, our class average score is 18 points lower than the first mock exam. Chi Man sneered, isn't it normal for the college entrance exam to be lower than the first mock exam? Ku Baobao missed the English exam. Su Peilon cried out, she was sure to get into Tsinghua or Peking University, but now she can only retake the year. I look at Sun Baobao. You've taken the Chinese, math, and comprehensive exams, what are your scores? Baby Tsun's face turned pale. Chiu Jingxing frowned. Why are you asking this? Teacher Qin walked over, holding a printed form in hand. Due to the needs of the public security investigation, we obtained the single subject scores submitted with the consent of Chen Baobao herself. Chinese, 89, math, 72, comprehensive, 160, even if she scored full marks in English, she still wouldn't reach the admission threshold for Tsinghua or Peking University. The crowd fell into silence. Su Peilon screamed, what gives you the right to publicly disclose my daughter's grades? Teacher Qin said coldly, it was you who claimed in public that she was only a few points away from getting into Tsinghua or Peking University, and used that to corner Su Xiaomian. Chi Man's mother chimed in, my daughter scored 24 points higher this time than in the first mock exam. Who was affected? Step forward and show your grades. Chi Man showed the screenshot of her grades. I got 651, Sun Baobao gave me Zongzi, almost affecting me. Chiu Jingxing's face turned red. Then I was affected. I scored 30 points lower than the mock exam. Teacher Qin asked, you were caught passing notes during the comprehensive exam, and your own mindset collapsed. Are you blaming Su Xiaomian for that? Chiu Jingxing fell silent. The police officer stepped forward. Additionally, regarding your organization of harassment in the group chat and sending threatening messages, these actions have already disrupted the normal life of others. Now, please cooperate with the investigation. A few classmates panicked. We didn't mean to do anything. We just wanted her to apologize. I didn't send that text message. Chiu Jingheng took a step back, but was stopped by the police officer. Chiu Jingheng, don't go. Sun Baobao suddenly cried and rushed toward me. It's all your fault. If you had eaten that day, we'd all have been stuck, and everyone's scores would have been low. Then baby wouldn't have seemed so bad. As these words fell, only her sobs remained in the river breeze. Everyone heard it clearly. Su Peilon rushed over to cover her mouth. Baby, don't say any more. The police officer's gaze darkened. Baby Tsun, did you just admit that you subjectively hoped someone else's performance would decline? Baby Tsun was stunned, shaking her head vigorously. No, baby said the wrong thing. I look at her. You weren't wrong, you just finally told the truth. Shen Yanxi stands beside me, his face devoid of any color. Baby, did you know from the very beginning? Baby Tsun cried and hid from him. You're blaming me too. You said you'd always be on my side. I'm asking if you knew. She screamed. So what if I know? I just want to win once. Su Xiaomian always beats me by one spot, and Chi Man has been improving recently. Why should I be left behind by you all? The farce finally came to light. No mysterious luck, no accidental mistakes, just one spoiled person using the entire class's college entrance exam as a stepping stone for their own ranking. The police officer took Sun Baobao and Chiu Jingxing away on the spot. Su Peilon collapsed on the ground, cursing at me, but was silenced by Chi Man's mother's threat. Keep cursing and I'll sue you for defamation. Shen Yanxi walked up to me, his voice so low it was almost inaudible. Xiaomian, I'm sorry. I looked at the river. There's more to your apology than just this. His eyes were red. I don't know why you said those things, but I know I was terribly wrong this time. I'll testify and tell everything I know clearly. Then go. He nodded, turned, and followed the police officer toward the patrol car. Later, Sun Baobao was dealt with according to law for adding drugs to food intended for multiple people and disrupting the order at the examination site. Since she did not cause actual harm to candidates taking the drugs and was a first-time offender, she ultimately received administrative punishment and mandatory psychological intervention, and her hope of being admitted to a university was lost. Chiu Jingxing was given a reprimand by the school for threatening and organizing a blockade, and his parents took him to apologize to each household. Du Xiao's distorted statement was handed over to the Education Bureau by Teacher Qin, and she was transferred away from the senior year class. Shen Yanxi submitted the complete chat records and call logs, and also wrote an apology letter. He came to see me a few times afterward, but I refused to meet him. The day the admission notice arrived, Chi Man ran to my house, hugging her notice. Su Xiaomian, I got in. My mom called from the kitchen with a smile. Don't just stand at the door, come in and eat Zongzi. Chi Man immediately waved her hand. Auntie, Zongzi now gives me trauma. my mom brought out a plate of plain Zongzi. Don't worry, it's only glutinous rice and red dates, sent by Teacher Chin. The doorbell happened to ring. Opening the door, Teacher Chin stood outside, holding a bag of fresh bamboo leaves. Su Xiaomian, congratulations on your admission. After hearing the first story above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Next, there is another similar story. Let's continue to see. My best friend is taking weight loss pills, saying they are worth a fortune. They claim to help you go from a 240-pound heavyweight to a model-like figure. I warned her that such things are scams, and in the end, you might not lose weight but could lose your life. She panicked upon hearing this and never mentioned using unregulated products for weight loss again. Later, while serving dishes, she saw the patient who had given her the medication transform into a glamorous model favored by luxury brands. She went crazy instantly. If it weren't for you stopping me from taking the pills, I would have become a famous model long ago. She force-fed me the diet pills until I suffocated and died. And my sister also died in the hospital ward because there was no money to continue her medical treatment. When I opened my eyes again, I had returned to the day my best friend got her hands on that dubious miracle pill. Go ahead, eat it. Such a miraculous remedy. Devour it in big bites. Wendy, look, they say this is a weight loss miracle. Hollywood models and celebrities are all taking it. It's worth a fortune, and it was only because a fellow patient helped out a big shot, who kindly gave it to me. In an instant, my oxygen-deprived lungs gasped for a deep breath. The sounds around me became clear, and the scene before my eyes was no longer that grimy, greasy alley. Wendy, are you listening? I'm talking to you. I got something good. Sarah's tone carried a hint of reproach, as if questioning why I don't properly listen to the voices of those around me. I turned my head toward her with a crackling sound. What did you say? I just choked on my saliva. I said, I got my hands on a weight loss pill. The kind that Hollywood celebrities take. I can become as thin as them, and I might even have a chance to catch a director's attention. Sarah's eyes unabashedly revealed her ambition. Once the hormonal meat in my body is eliminated, I can finally step onto the stage I've always dreamed of. The more Sarah spoke, the happier she became, so much so that even dancing couldn't fully express her joy. Seeing the scene before me, I quickly accepted that I had been reborn and traveled back to the past. This was a wish I had thought about countless times. I raised a smile and warmly wished her well. Ah, that's wonderful. I look forward to you achieving your dream. Sarah spoke with increasing enthusiasm, as if she wanted to pour out all the grievances and frustrations she had endured from gaining weight due to medication over the years. She clutched the weight loss pills in her hand as if they were life-saving medicine. I chimed in from time to time. My heart is heavy with countless thoughts that have long drifted far away. The same was true in my previous life. Sarah was overjoyed to get this special medicine, without a trace of doubt, even if there was any. It was convinced by the survivor bias, but there's no such thing as a free lunch. I searched for the outer packaging of her weight loss pills, and all the labels on it were fake, with some even indicating that the pills were veterinary medicine. You can't eat that. You might not lose the weight, but you could lose your life first. I found a lot of information and had a heart-to-heart talk with Sarah. After seeing it, Sarah calmed down for a while and stopped talking about taking the pills. Who would dare take such a product with no quality assurance or after-sales support? What if something goes wrong? Her body can't handle such stress. The excess weight she has is actually hormonal weight caused by medication, which is very difficult to lose. The consequences of taking this dubious medication would be unimaginable. Sarah, 174, weighing 240 pounds, falls far short of the requirements for a model. I thought it was just a minor issue. After all, who hasn't had a preference for weight loss pills at some point in their life? Until the day of the global beauty pageant, Sarah's fellow patient stood prominently on the award podium. There was no trace of her ever having weighed 260 pounds. Her skin was as fair as jade, her abdomen flat and toned, her calves slender, without a single stretch mark. She looked like a completely different person. Sarah watched intently until the program ended. She picked up her phone and sent a series of messages to her fellow patient. It turned out that the weight loss pills had given her fellow patient a new lease on life, but by then, the weight loss pills had been discarded for nearly 4 months and were nowhere to be found. She tried to get her fellow patient to spare a few pills for her. She wanted to lose weight too, but the other patient had none to spare for her, and she couldn't go back to the boss to ask for more. Watching her former fellow patient's career flourish and her fame grow, Sarah could no longer bear it. She resented it. She had once had the chance to rise to the top. Before she fell ill, she was even more attractive than the other patient, so how had she ended up worse off? As she pieced things together, she realized it was me. I had stopped her from taking the medication, and she believed I had ruined her path to stardom. She piled all the blame onto me, so, driven by malice, after I was promoted and became a full-fledged journalist, she dragged me into an alley, stuffed my mouth full of diet pills, and suffocated me to death. At the moment I lost all consciousness. The last words I heard were her voice filled with hatred. If you hadn't stopped me from taking those pills, I would have become a famous model by now. My sister, whom I had struggled to support, died in the hospital ward because my death meant no more money for her medical expenses. I hated myself. Why did I have to speak up? My own life was already miserable enough. How could I have hoped to change someone else's fate? I never expected to be reborn, but given a second chance, I will never speak out of turn again. Since she wants to eat, then she can eat. It has nothing to do with me. Wendy, why are you spacing out again? I was pulled out of my memories by Sarah, suppressed my hatred, and instinctively apologized. Sorry, I'm too tired. I'm happy for you that you're about to get what you want, Sarah said considerately. Then you should rest well. I'll go share this good news with other friends. I quickly stopped her. Success depends on secrecy. If you reveal it now, and the medicine doesn't show obvious effects, you'll only invite unnecessary criticism. Wait until it succeeds before telling them. It'll be a massive surprise. Sarah had no idea what the weight loss pills she had obtained actually were. I was able to successfully get promoted to a full-time journalist because I interviewed a rising model. After securing an exclusive interview, I overheard her mentioning that the weight loss pills she used contained insect eggs with severe side effects. They would cause constant cravings for food, but the body wouldn't retain any nutrients, leading to continuous weight loss. If the appetite of the parasites inside the body couldn't be satisfied, they would start consuming the internal organs to sustain themselves unless I find a chance to get rid of the worms inside my body. Sarah, the patient, screamed hysterically, begging the expert to end her suffering. I hurried away before they noticed me. Before I could even tell Sarah the news, she killed me. I watched Sarah, her face plump with fat, laughing so hard her eyes disappeared, and I chuckled inwardly. Eat up, take big bites, let the worms devour you. You're right, if I don't succeed, they'll all mock me. Why don't you simply record your weight loss journey on video? That way, you can motivate your future self and also see the changes. That's a great idea. I like it. Upon hearing this, Sarah immediately closed WeChat, turned on the camera, and cheerfully started recording her first time taking the medicine. I will become a model in the future too. The obsession in her eyes was almost overflowing, but then, as if she thought of something, she suddenly hesitated and said, Wendy, do you think this might have some side effects? What if it causes health problems? It was the same in my previous life. She still had a shred of rationality holding her back, thinking that such things couldn't possibly be that miraculous. And I pulled her back from the edge of the cliff. The result was death. I looked at her, my eyes cold and indifferent. All medicine has some toxicity. If the effects are this good, there must be some side effects. You must be willing to accept this price to use it, or you will surely regret it in the future. Sarah remained silent for a moment, saying nothing, while the pills and water glass sat quietly on the table. The gentle glow of the setting sun streamed through the window at a specific angle, illuminating the pills on the table like a dark stage with a single spotlight on the protagonist. Everyone's gaze was drawn to it. The phone buzzed incessantly, with messages popping up one after another. Sarah glanced at the message content, and without a moment's hesitation, she swallowed the pill and gulped down large mouthfuls of plain water. The last rays of the sun had completely faded, leaving only a deep blue sky, and there was not a trace of warmth left in the room. She muttered, I will succeed. You need to take it consistently for it to be effective. If you stop midway, there might be a rebound. I casually reminded her, it's best to ask your fellow patients about the treatment duration and consolidation period, so you don't miss the medication schedule. Hearing this, Sarah looked very anxious and couldn't help but act coquettishly toward me, saying, You're right, I really need to ask her properly. Thank goodness for you, boo-hoo, otherwise I'd definitely make a complete mess of things. Suppressing a full-body shudder, I flattered and pleaded, if this really works, we could sell it and make a fortune. Could you ask your fellow patients if they have any extra pills? I'd like to try them too. Sarah had always been slim and beautiful since she was young, even participating in a training-style girl group. If it weren't for the illness and medication causing her hormones to skyrocket and making it impossible to lose weight through normal methods, she would have already debuted successfully and become a big star. Or Model, how could someone like me, a healthy person, get my hands on such a miraculous pill that finally allows her to lose weight? It's worth a fortune." Hearing this, Sarah immediately felt a bit displeased. With a grim expression, she said, "You're already so slim, you don't need to lose weight. Besides, being that thin isn't healthy. This is a gift from a fellow patient, so I can't just pass it on to you. When the time comes, I'll ask around. If there are any extras, I'll buy some for you. If not, there's nothing I can do." After saying that, she gave me a forced smile, patted my shoulder, gathered the rows of pills on the table into her arms, and hurriedly rushed into the bedroom. Bang! Sarah's bedroom door slammed shut right in front of me, and I couldn't resist taunting her. "Money is no problem, let me know when you find out." A series of clattering noises came from inside the room. I held back my laughter. "Go ahead and eat more, we'll see who ends up eating whom." A month later, Sarah had lost 40 pounds, but the takeout kept coming like an assembly line, 5 meals a day plus 2 late-night snacks. Even with that, Sarah still lost 2.5 pounds a day, consistently and steadily. The toilet has been clogged several times. Compared to before, there is now a subtle curve to the body. Seeing the results, Sarah was overjoyed, eating much more than before without doubting the effectiveness of the potion. The skin has also become increasingly fair and radiant. I can't believe this is the same woman who had a face full of acne and pimples just half a month ago. The change is so dramatic. Sarah emerged from the bedroom beaming with joy, and seeing my jaw-dropping expression made her even more excited. Practically puffing up with pride like a fox raising its tail, she sidled up to me, trying to mimic the seductive expressions of those sultry beauties. I found it utterly nauseating, mainly because her imitation was so off. Her nose and eyes were all out of place. I leaned my head far back, stretching my neck like a ninja turtle avoiding her, and said, "I've lost 40 pounds, in another month and a half, I'll have a model's figure." "Ah, Wendy, the pills really work?" I asked my fellow patients, "and that brand of pills is still in stock? They're a bit pricey. Do you want some?" She carried a faint scent, so subtle that my sensitive nose caught it almost as soon as she rushed toward me, a cloyingly sweet, fishy smell. I held my breath, suppressing the sour liquid rising in my throat, and responded, "Of course." "How much?" With that, I stood up, breaking free from her embrace, picked up the water glass on the table, and quickly headed toward the kitchen. "I don't need much, just one strip is enough. One strip costs 20,000, 20,000 for one pill." My hand trembled as I reached for the water. I cursed inwardly, thinking, is this some kind of life-saving miracle drug? How can it be this expensive? I pretended to be utterly devastated, putting on a pitiful face and saying, "This must be made of gold. I can't afford it, I simply can't afford it." Sarah lay on the sofa, watching my shocked and ridiculous reaction, trying hard to suppress the corners of her mouth to keep her smile from growing wider, and pretending to look innocent. "That's right, and I even got a discount from my fellow patient. The original price was 32,000. Fortunately, my fellow patient is wealthy. Although this medication is expensive, it's nothing compared to the friendship between us. It's a pity that each of my pills has to be taken according to the treatment plan, otherwise I could have spared a few for you. You won't blame me, will you, Wendy?" I twitched the corner of my mouth. "How could that be? You're such a good person. I couldn't be happier for you." Hearing me say that, Sarah couldn't hold back the smile spreading across her face. After 2 lifetimes, how could I not know what kind of person Sarah is? Since gaining weight, her mindset has undergone a dramatic shift, and she's no longer the confident, generous person she used to be. Instead, she became selfish, greedy, and petty, even secretly taking pleasure in seeing people worse off than her. I always thought it was because of her illness and her obesity, that it was caused by her environment, but when I died at her hands, I realized it was all just my assumption. I should not have underestimated human nature. Now, the pills have given her enough confidence, making her heart swell with pride. She needs an outlet to vent. "Wendy, you're so kind. I always knew you were different." I watched as she proudly showed off her changes in a somewhat fake manner, then happily collected her package and returned to her bedroom. Meanwhile, I quietly noted her increasingly large appetite. Seeing the real changes in Sarah, I felt relieved and started packing my bags to go stay with my younger sister. Ever since my parents died in a car accident 3 years ago, I have been living alone with my younger sister, but misfortune always strikes the most vulnerable. A year ago, my sister was diagnosed with kidney disease and needed a transplant to survive. After paying extra and waiting for a long time, a kidney source for my sister was finally found. Her body was also in good condition for the surgery, but just as we were about to take the final step, I died the night before paying my sister's medical fees, because I died. There was no one in the family to handle things, and the company didn't even offer compensation. My wages were withheld, with no way to cover my sister's medical expenses, and shocked by the news of my death. She died from complications of kidney disease. My sister and I died so carelessly, just like that. This time, I absolutely must not let what happened last time occur again. After taking care of my sister until she fell asleep, my phone received many calls. They were all from Sarah. I didn't take it seriously. It's been so long since I last saw my sister, and I don't want anyone to disturb us. I gently stroked my sister's soft hair, my eyes filled with heartache as her frail body struggled against the relentless grip of illness. Sleep well. My little sister's small hand gently wrapped around my finger. Tears instantly streamed down my face. Oh heavens, thank you for giving me a second chance, I prayed with utmost sincerity from the depths of my heart. In my previous life, I was unwilling to give up my sister and unwilling to give up Sarah, surviving only by sheer willpower. In the end, I couldn't have both the fish and the bear's paw. A month later, when I returned home, the sweet, cloying smell in the house was mixed with a hint of decay. I couldn't help but sniff the air, the front door wide open in an attempt to breathe in some fresh air. Sarah was sitting on the sofa, and when she saw me come back, she was so angry that her hair seemed to stand on end. I called you so many times, why didn't you answer any of them? Is there something you need? I didn't want to deal with her, only thinking about packing my things and moving out as soon as possible. Lend me 50,000, I'll pay you back later. Sarah's expression was extremely unpleasant. She stepped forward to block my way, her tone aggressive, as if lending her money was only natural, as if I owed her. I took a closer look at Sarah. She seemed completely transformed, an oval face, sparkling eyes, and a small cherry-like mouth. I had never imagined she could be so beautiful. Her figure was perfectly proportioned, with curves in all the right places. In other words, she had an amazing body. She has a natural face without makeup, but she photographs well and fits the pure campus Belle type that people often talk about. As I passed by Sarah, the cloyingly sweet scent was emanating from her. The closer I got, the clearer it became, with a faint, almost imperceptible hint of decay. No money. Those two words left Sarah completely speechless, and she instantly flew into a rage. No money? How could you possibly have no money? What about your compensation payout? The demolition funds, and the excessive bonuses you get every month? You couldn't have spent it all on your sister. Don't forget, I'm your savior. You won't even lend me 50,000, you're ungrateful. Sarah chased after me, pointing at my back and shouting in a fit of rage. In my previous life, when the typhoon hit, it was Sarah who pulled me away from the falling billboard and saved my life. From that moment on, I held her in my heart as well, which is why I went to such great lengths to help her. We rented this apartment together, and I covered everything from the rent to the smallest expenses like the shampoo and toiletries. I valued our friendship and gave her the best I could afford. She is like a sister to me, part of my family, and yet, it was the one I held so dear who killed me. I'm not a saint. I won't do things that harm myself to benefit others anymore. I'm not an ATM, able to spit out money left and right. Go borrow from someone else. I have no money. It's hilarious. Am I some kind of loan company where you can just borrow whenever you want? Your entitled attitude really made me laugh. You don't know what's good for you. If I hadn't saved you, you'd be long gone. Sarah's face grew increasingly pale, and her voice became weaker and weaker. Don't flatter yourself. If I didn't know what's good for me, would you be able to live here without paying rent? Would you be able to live like a boss every day, with clothes handed to you and meals served to you? Do you think all of this is free? Did it fall from the sky? I crossed my arms and looked at her with a mocking expression. You? Sarah's face turned deathly pale. She rushed up to me, grabbed my wrist tightly, rolled her eyes, and fainted on the spot. It gave me a real scare. She fainted just like that. I desperately tried to pry her claws off, but where did this girl get so much strength? I just couldn't break free, left with no other choice. I quickly called for an ambulance. It hurts. My stomach hurts. Sarah lay on the hospital bed, mumbling softly with a face full of cold sweat. I stood by, rolling my eyes. What a mess this was. Hurry up and give her an 4 of glucose. The hospital was in a chaotic rush, but fortunately, the doctor was experienced. After starting Sarah's 4, she fell into a deep sleep. I noticed the grip on my wrist had loosened, so I quickly broke free and left. Before leaving, I was pulled aside by a nurse to pay the bill at the front desk. I feel like I've been taken for a complete Fool, by the time I left the hospital with a sour look on my face, it was already past midnight. Too exhausted to care about the cost, I immediately hired a moving company to transport my belongings to the company dormitory. I was terrified that Sarah might pull another stunt and try to extort me again. After staying up all night and working the next day, I was as exhausted as a monkey, dazed and bleary-eyed. I drifted out of the company only to be cornered by Sarah, who was dressed in all black. Right at the entrance. "It's my fault, I shouldn't have said that to you, please come back," Sarah blurted out the moment she saw me. The sight of her made my mind as sharp and alert as if I had downed a dozen cups of boya juixian, my heart pounding so hard it felt like it might leap out of my chest, and I was on the verge of collapsing. "I'm not going back, it's my freedom," I couldn't help but sneer. "I'm not some plaything you can summon and dismiss at will. Aren't we good friends? I won't ask to borrow money from you anymore, okay? I just spoke without thinking. Can you forgive me?" Sarah pleaded pitifully, trying to win my sympathy with a mix of whining and playing the victim. "No, don't bother me, I'm already being generous by not asking you to pay for my medical expenses, don't push your luck." I brushed her hand away and walked past her. "The 9.96 wage slave just wants to hurry back to bed and get a good night's sleep. Stay away from me, you lunatic." Exhausted, I collapsed onto the sofa and fell into a deep sleep. In a half-asleep state, I felt my throat was unbearably dry and wanted to get up for a drink of water. In my daze, I saw water on the coffee table, picked it up, and drank it all in one go. It was warm and just right to drink. I put the cup down and lay back on the sofa to continue sleeping, but I always felt something wasn't quite right. My water is lukewarm water. I came back in such a hurry, practically went straight to bed as soon as I entered the room. How could there be any lukewarm water to drink, and all the cups are kept in the kitchen? I didn't even take one out. Moreover, even if there were any on the coffee table, there wouldn't be any water left. After all, the room is so small that my computer is also placed on the coffee table. If a water cup were left on the table and water accidentally spilled onto the laptop, that would truly be a disaster. The more I think about it, the more terrifying it becomes. Someone has broken into the house. Instantly, my groggy mind snapped awake. I quietly opened my eyes and looked around, but unfortunately, I was lying face down, so my field of vision was extremely limited. How could someone come in? This is a company-rented apartment with very strict access control. Tap, tap, tap. The footsteps were light, as if the person wasn't wearing shoes, and they were gradually approaching the sofa where I was. A pair of delicate feet stopped beside the sofa, and I quickly closed my eyes. The sound of clothes rustling reached my ears, as if someone had crouched down. In the darkness, warm breath brushed against my neck. I gripped my phone tightly, steadied my breathing, and suddenly stood up, slamming it into the person's head. "Ah!" A scream echoed as I pinned the person to the ground. It was only by the moonlight that I realized this person was Sarah. In an instant, a surge of malice rose within me. With reddened eyes, I tightly choked her neck. "Why? I've already distanced myself from you like this. I don't want to interfere with your fate anymore. Why won't you let me go?" "Let go, go." Sarah's face turned red from holding her breath, frantically pulling at my hand. It seemed that with a little more force, this troublemaker Sarah could die, and my sister and I could live happily together. "I just wanted to steal some money from you." Sarah was terrified, struggling desperately. I didn't care what she intended to do. I hated her, hated how she always caused me trouble, hated everything about her. But if I kill her, what will happen to my sister? Thinking of this, I loosened my grip, giving Sarah a chance to catch her breath. "What did you give me?" I glared at her fiercely, my eyes red. "Just some sleeping pills," Sarah stammered in a hoarse voice, looking at me in terror. I pushed her aside, and she looked at me with fear and dread, scrambling on her hands and knees toward the door. All I heard was the door slamming shut. Sarah ran away, and I propped myself up to lock the door. Leaning against the door, my consciousness gradually faded as an invisible force pulled me into the darkness. It was the leader's unique phone ringtone that woke me up, and I realized it was already the next day. My mind was still foggy when the leader gave the instruction to go on a business trip to watch a fashion show. As a new talent had emerged in the modeling circle, if we could secure an exclusive, there would be a hefty bonus. I quickly made a firm commitment, determined to seize this opportunity at all costs. It's so frustrating. If only I could remember the winning lottery numbers. Why would I still be working like a slave? Thinking of this, I quickly shook my head. Being reborn is already an immense stroke of luck. How could I dare ask for more? Not appreciating the blessings I have is truly a sin. Without time to dwell on yesterday's events, I packed my bags and hurried off to the fashion capital. Time waits for no one, especially since I need to get the exclusive. Only after boarding the plane did I have time to calm down and think about that glass of water before falling asleep. The more I thought about it, the more frightened I became. If Sarah hadn't exposed herself earlier, it would have been a case of the lamb being led to the slaughter. I went to the hospital for a blood test as soon as I got off the plane. Fortunately, there were no issues, so I took a few more deworming pills. What if this lunatic wants to seek revenge on me? I came to the fashion capital early to better gather information. The devil is in the details, and the righteous path is even higher. After a week of investigating outside, I still couldn't uncover any core information. I couldn't help but sigh. This time, they were really guarding against every possible leak. When I obediently arrived at the fashion show, I was astonished to find that the closing model was actually Sarah. She wore a red dress with wave-like layers, which complemented her flawless, fair skin. The subtle shimmer on her shoes further enhanced the dress's brilliance. A sheer veil partially concealed her beautiful face, and she and the dress complemented each other perfectly. My face darkened, thinking it was Sarah's fellow patient. I had originally planned to pretend to be Sarah's friend to get backstage and send my regards. I never expected this jerk to directly take her fellow patient's spot. In just 1 week, she managed to walk as the finale. I didn't dare imagine how many tricks were involved, nor did I expect Sarah to break into the modeling world so quickly. Even making it to the finale of such a show, I had a dark expression on my face as I watched the designer and models return to the stage for the final bow. Suddenly, I caught a whiff of an overwhelmingly sweet and cloying scent. The journalist beside me also frowned and put on a mask. After the debut show ended, I had no choice but to brace myself and interview her backstage. In exchange for exclusive coverage, to get a hefty bonus. Meeting an enemy is awkward, especially since I still depend on her for a living. Had I known she could climb the ladder so quickly, I would have delayed the fallout. Now, no matter what, I have to face it head on. But on second thought, she had no reason to be upset. She was the one trying to steal my money. I immediately perked up. It was hard to get into the back office, but I managed to avoid the security guards. I took the work badge of an intern who was changing clothes in the restroom, smoothly blended into the busy backstage work area. At this moment, Sarah was still sitting and resting in the dressing room. I glanced at my watch. I should be the first reporter to have sneaked in. For the bonus, I'm going all out. Sarah looked up and glanced around, as if she had spotted me. She blinked her eyes and called me over as if nothing had happened. No wonder she can thrive in the world of fame and fortune. Her skin is really thick. How did you manage to get in? Sarah whispered to me. I avoided the question and changed the subject. How did you get into the fashion show and even become the closing model? Seeing that I didn't want to respond to her topic, she became even more arrogant. Right now, you're the one begging me. Yes, if you don't become my exclusive, I will expose your secret, so think carefully before you answer. I held her weakness, and Sarah's expression gradually darkened after hearing my words. How dare you? I've always considered you a friend. You're threatening me. Don't you believe I can have security throw you out? She suppressed her anger, her eyes turning cold. You can try. I have nothing to fear. Our friendship has long been broken. Now, you'd better think quickly about how to respond to me, or what appears in my newspaper won't be your words. The interview went smoothly. I sent the draft back to the company overnight. Due to the time difference, we were the first to publish globally. The boss was very pleased, and I received a generous red envelope from him. For the next week, I will continue to navigate this world of fame and fortune, dig out more stories. Everyone has a strong interest in this new muse. I certainly won't let this opportunity slip by. Since we've already torn off the mask, there's no harm in pushing my luck a little further. The final show, the designer was still taking his bows on the runway, while Sarah beside him swayed unsteadily, her pallor showing through her foundation. The stage lights fell on her face, and sweat reflected tiny glimmers of pearlescent light. The scent grew stronger and stronger. Thank you, everyone. Before the words of gratitude could be finished, they were interrupted by a scream. Under the gaze of the crowd, Sarah clutched her stomach and collapsed to the ground, her face contorted in agony as she begged someone to call for help. Under the red dress, something seemed to be wriggling in her lower abdomen. Sarah's eyes rolled back, and she screamed. Between her pale legs, streams of blood trickled out. Sarah writhed in pain, rolling around uncontrollably. The entire show descended into chaos as security rushed over to assess the situation, but before reaching the scene of the incident, I was pushed back by the crowd ahead. Monster, it's so disgusting. Ugh. Disgusted voices came from all directions. As a journalist, I caught a glimpse of that shocking scene amidst the panicked crowd. A worm crawled out from under Sarah. Within seconds, security rushed onto the stage and blocked the view. Sarah was also taken away. The crowd at the show was being cleared, and many people around were still buzzing about what they had just seen. The phone rang with a jingling sound. Someone sent me a text message. Many people nearby stopped to check their phones. It seems I'm not the only one who received a threat. Yes, a threat. The boss here demands that no one disclose what just happened with the runway models. No one took it seriously. This is perfect. Sarah made a fool of herself in public. And it's so satisfying. But before I could even enjoy it for a minute, I noticed two burly men at the front of the line checking everyone's recording devices one by one. Any photos that could be harmful to the show must be checked and deleted before leaving. I held the camera in my arms tightly. I cursed under my breath, thinking, seriously, they had to start the inspection now, right when it's almost my turn. Give me the camera, the security guard snarled, pointing at my camera. Ah, yes. Of course, I handed it over meekly. When you're under someone else's roof, you have to bow your head. I reached up to adjust my glasses, which were damp with sweat. The burly man carefully inspected it and found no prohibited photos inside, then handed it back to me with a hesitant expression. I smiled at them, turned around, and quickly left the show. I'm not stupid. In such a situation, it's essential to have a backup plan. The camera was just the first layer of disguise. The glasses are the true essence. Ultra-miniature cameras, and glasses originally contain metal, so even if scanned, it's normal. Moreover, for these temporary exhibition setups, inspections usually don't have time to deploy large-scale detection equipment. They all use the simplest metal scanners. After saving all the information from the glasses, uploaded it to the offline phone's background. I didn't expect things to happen so quickly. Yesterday, the day before the incident, I didn't leave after finishing the interview. Instead, I found a secluded corner inside the show venue to write my draft. Unexpectedly, I overheard a conversation, crushed the stuff and put it in Sarah's water cup, as well as in her food. Just go ahead and do it, she won't notice. The woman spoke nonchalantly while smoking, her tone dripping with malice. Money, the other person, wrapped up tightly, had an indistinguishable face. The money is in place, don't worry, no one will be able to trace you. She herself takes this kind of medication. With my excellent 5.2 vision, I caught a glimpse of the woman's profile. I raised an eyebrow. Oh ho, it's Sarah, my fellow patient. Oh my god, isn't this the kind of scene that happens in movies? According to the plot, I should be a minor character, an important but faceless piece of walking evidence. Unfortunately, their conversation was very brief, and soon this remote corner fell silent. In her previous life, it was Sarah's fellow patient who shone brightly in these shows, later naturally participating in the Miss International pageant and winning the championship. But in this life, Sarah has taken her place. This caused the fellow patient to lose the opportunity to become an instant sensation. Harboring a grudge, the fellow patient bribed Sarah's assistant to stage a scenario where she would die from an overdose of medication. This classic revenge story is so full of drama. Fortunately, no matter what, I got my bonus. My sister's surgery and recovery expenses are almost covered. I packed my things and drove to the hospital, following the tracking device I had accidentally placed on the doctor earlier. Since you're already here, why not grab another trending news story? It would be so satisfying. The hospital was bustling with people coming and going, so I slipped into the doctor's on-call room when no one was paying attention. Once out, I transformed into a diligent and dedicated intern doctor. I was even pushing a cart loaded with medicine, blending in with the elevator. I made my way upstairs. Fortunately, my glasses provided location information. In the operating room on a separate floor, several burly men were guarding the entrance. I approached without glancing sideways, and before arousing their suspicion, I turned into a corridor branch and entered inside, and I also casually placed a bug on the trash can. ZZZ, ZZZZZZZZZZ. I have no idea what this woman is up to. There's a huge worm in her belly, and the boss still wants us to escort her. Shut up quickly, this isn't something we should be discussing. Soon, the channel returned to complete silence. I don't know how much time had passed when the sound of the operating room door sliding open caught my attention. The surgery was successful, the patient can be moved to the ward. The sound of wheels and scattered footsteps filled the headphones. You see, his belly is full of worms, and his internal organs have been gnawed beyond recognition. He's really lucky. If he had arrived just a few minutes later, he would have met his maker. I heard his identity is quite unusual. I checked, and this woman is actually a rising star in the fashion scene. To end up like this is really, the The voices of the nurses or doctors gossiping grew fainter. I waited a little longer, then I pushed the cart and left, taking the listening device with me. Sarah was taken to the intensive care unit, and from the hallway, I saw 2 bodyguards standing guard at the door, and I don't have time to follow up anymore. My sister's surgery date has been moved up. I need to return to my home country as soon as possible to be by her side. After obtaining the exclusive information, I confidently asked my boss for a long leave. This time, I must personally see my little sister recover. No one can stop me. I paced back and forth outside the operating room, my anxiety growing stronger and stronger, kneeling on the ground and praying to all the gods. I beg you to let my little sister's surgery be successful. I don't know how long it had been when the door of the operating room opened. My eyes were swollen as I leaned against the wall and shakily got to my feet. The doctor said to me with a look of relief, "The surgery was very successful. My younger sister had only a very mild rejection reaction. He said that if she recovers well, she can be discharged early." I looked at my younger sister's pale face, gently held her thin hand, and was so overjoyed that I didn't know what to do, tears streaming down uncontrollably. Thank you, doctor." I collapsed weakly on the ground, expressing my gratitude to the doctor. Time passed quickly, and my younger sister improved day by day. 3 months later, I rented a new apartment near a middle school. My sister still needed to spend more time with peers her age, as it would be beneficial for her. I don't expect her academic achievements to be outstanding. I only hope she remains safe and sound for the rest of her life. My little sister is very happy to be back at school. She no longer has to face those cold yet life-saving medical devices every day, nor does she have to face the friends she made in the hospital, only to see them taken away by illness. It seems everything is moving in a positive direction. After observing my sister's condition for a while, I feel she has adapted to school life. He returned to the company. During this time, Sarah completely disappeared, as if her previous presence had been a flash in the pan. No trace of her could be found on social media platforms either. In contrast, the patient is now at the peak of their career, especially after she won the Miss World pageant. She became famous all over the country. Back at the company, I planned to resign and take all my belongings from the dormitory. As soon as I opened the door, the room was filled with a foul stench. I was shocked by the mountain of garbage before my eyes. What is this? There's no place to step. It seems that upon hearing the sound of the door opening, a strange noise came from the pile of garbage. A disheveled woman emerged from the garbage pile, and I took a closer look. It was actually Sarah. When she saw it was me, she lunged at me like a madwoman. Fortunately, a mountain of garbage blocked her path. In the blink of an eye, I turned and ran. I didn't give Sarah any chance. It was too scary, just like an irrational lunatic. "It's all you. It's all your fault, Wendy. Why didn't you stop me?" Sarah's body was still very thin, her whole person like a skeleton, and she was breathing heavily as she questioned me. "Go to hell. What did I do to you? Have you no shame? Whoever took your spot, go find them." I was so angry I laughed, immediately firing back at her with sarcasm, and while running I didn't forget to call the police. How on earth did she manage to get into our company's dormitory building and accurately find my room? But I couldn't help but feel relieved. To treat my sister's illness, I took her to another city for a transfer to a different hospital after returning to the country. Otherwise, I would definitely have been caught by Sarah. The police car arrived quickly, and Sarah, who had been behind me, had disappeared somewhere. Maybe I shook them off, or maybe they saw the police and ran away on their own. But I can't stay in this city anymore. I quickly completed the resignation procedures, contacted the cleaning service to clean up the dormitory and return the keys, and left with my few belongings. Soon, Sarah was arrested for splashing acid on a popular model, and both she and the popular model had parasites remaining in their bodies. The worm requires a special pill to suppress it, otherwise it will devour its host. Sarah's incident on the runway was caused by taking too many inhibitors. Excessive inhibitors can actually activate the worm's activity. This also led to Sarah being abandoned. I had thought that Sarah would either die or be imprisoned because of this, but she managed to escape on her own. She even hid in my dormitory. I've never seen her so sharp-witted. But all of that has nothing to do with me anymore. I'm just an ordinary person who only wants to live my own simple life. After hearing the 2 stories above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Looking forward to hearing from you. If you liked this story, don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.